Hey guys, and welcome to my very first back to school video. I am so excited for my back to school series. So we're kicking it off with more of a chatty video in which I am going to attempt to give some advice to the new year 11s on kind of what to expect, my sort of tips based on my experience, and sort of like how to deal with everything, because I know year 11 can be a very stressful year. It's one of like the biggest years of the secondary education, so I'm going to attempt to give you some advice so you can sort of prepare and you know what to expect when you start in September. So my first tip is, even though I know school makes it out to be an incredibly big deal, biggest year of your life, whatever, don't overthink it, because if you overthink it, then that starts leading to stress, and you do not want that, especially before you've even started year 11. Yes, obviously your GCSEs are quite a big deal, but you don't need to start stressing over them like straight in September. I know that I didn't. They are still a long way away, even though they don't seem like it. They do come around super quickly, but just don't overthink it. Year 11 seriously is not as bad as it seems. It's not as stressful or anything like that as school makes it out to be, I think. But it's not as bad as it seems if you do stay on top of all your work, kind of manage your stress. That is a massive thing that you've got to learn to do. Stay on top of all your work, revise hard as well. It's not as bad as it seems if you kind of take it in your stride. That kind of leads on to my next point, which is make sure to keep on track of all your work throughout year 11, even from the start. Make sure that you are completing your homework, and make sure that you're completing it to the best of your ability. Like, year 11 is not the time to be slacking off on anything. So if you do get homework that's note-taking or anything, make sure that you do it really thoroughly. Make sure that any work you complete in class, try and always complete it. Make sure that you're taking it all in, because you need that information. Make sure that you are understanding everything as well throughout the year. So in lessons, if there's any homework that you get, make sure that you understand all the information that you're getting. If there is something that you don't understand, please just ask someone, look it up, whatever. Do not kind of put it off just because you don't understand it, because when you come to revising, like your final revision before your exams, it will be so much harder if there's still things that you don't understand. Revision at the end should just kind of be like consolidating your knowledge, not kind of learning new things. That being said as well, you need to make sure that you're paying attention in your lessons. As I said, year 11 is not the time to start slacking off, so make sure that you are paying attention. I know it can be hard. I don't always pay attention. I am not a perfect student, my friends will tell you this. But do try and pay attention as best as you can, because often the teachers will be going over kind of topics for the last time in year 11. It's not like in year 10 when you know you're going to go over it again in year 11 anyway. It may be the last time that this teacher is talking about this topic, and that sort of goes with the whole thing of like understanding it. Because if the teacher's not actually going to revisit that topic, then you need to make sure yourself that you know it well at the time. One of the main things I always say to people that ask about advice for year 11 is revise hard for all your mocks and all your kind of like small topic tests and whatever. Obviously don't stress over them, but make sure that you are working hard towards them. Obviously the results don't matter in the sense that your GCSE results do, but mocks are a great opportunity to sort of sit down with all your revision and kind of sort through what you know, what you don't know, and it's also a really nice time to start kind of finding study techniques that work for you. So if you want to try flashcards for your mocks, flowcharts, kind of mind maps, whatever, because then you can see like, oh, you might have done really well in your science mock because you used like a mind map or something, and you didn't use that in English and you did worse in English. I know like not all study techniques works for all subjects, but you get what I mean. So basically take your mocks seriously. Even though your results don't matter that much, still work hard for them, because as well, if you revise hard for those mocks, the information in those mocks may well come up in your GCSEs too. It's not a different set of information or whatever. So I found personally that I revised hard for my mocks, and I am so glad that I did, because when it came to actually revising for my exams, I already knew a lot of the information really well because I'd revised it hard for my mocks. So I didn't have to revise those topics as hard as other ones, so that made that bit like just a little bit easier. Also, stay organised throughout year 11. I cannot stress this enough. Maybe buy folders or something during the summer holidays. I know I get all new folders and stationery every year, but maybe get folders so then you do start getting like a lot of kind of sheets of information, revision guides, this, that, from school, and you need to make sure that you're filing it away properly, because then when you come to revise for exams again, you'll know where everything is. So kind of you'll know where your science past papers are, and therefore you won't need to print any more off, or you know where your physics worksheets are or your maths book or whatever, and they're not sort of like here, there and everywhere, and you don't know where anything is, and then you start to stress. So make sure that everything is all organised. I know in my desk tour, if you want to see how I organised all my books and folders for GCSE, it is in that video, which I will link somewhere. I feel like a lot of people feel that to do well in your exams you need to revise all the time, all day, every day, but that is not the case at all. I did not revise all the time. I know it may look like I do from my studygram, but you're only seeing a photo of my revision. So the reason I say this, and the reason that I do not recommend revising all the time, especially in the start of year 11, I get if you're revising all the time in the second half, because that's when the exams are obviously, but from like September to December, don't revise all the time, because you'll just find that you'll tire yourself out. So then when it does come to after January and you need to start knuckling down with some revision, you'll be tired already and you'll be sick of it. So do not tire yourself out. Take the time to relax, because trust me, you may not have that much time to relax after January. Lots and lots of people say this, and it is really true, and that is start revising for your GCSEs early. I don't mean early as in September, as I said, but it is good to do the things that I mentioned before from September like onwards anyway. But I get asked a lot when I started revising, and I didn't really have like a set like time, like I didn't start revising like, oh, February the 1st or anything, because I was revising like here, there and everywhere, as I said, and I was revising for my mocks quite hard. When I started doing more frequent revision was probably March, I'd say, but even that I think was too late. Like I was like a little bit stressing out because I thought I'd left it really last minute. So if you want to start before then I thoroughly recommend that, but do not leave it till the last minute. Cramming is not good at all. I do not recommend cramming. I know people say it may work for them, but I just do not understand how it will, and especially in GCSE you do have quite a lot of information, obviously not as much as A-level or anything, but I personally had 11 subjects, and that is 11 subjects worth of information to learn, and I could not learn like all of the physics specification the night before, for example. You've got to kind of spread it out and start revising earlier to actually get everything done and revise it all thoroughly and to the sort of extent that you need to do. Also, as I said, with mocks and the kind of topic tests, I really recommend starting to make your revision resources as you go along throughout the year. So say like in history, if we did a topic, I would then make a set of flashcards on that topic, and then in science or something, if we did a topic, then I'd write out notes on it. And then when you get to the exams, you've already got so many resources to use and you can just look over them, because when it comes to exam season, you don't really want to be spending your time making new resources. Like, you don't want to be there for hours writing out flashcards. You want to be looking over those flashcards, revising those flashcards. So definitely try and make resources as you go along, because it will make your life so much easier when it gets to exams. Another really big thing, and I know this is definitely easier said than done, is please don't stress too much. I know the GCSEs seem like a massive deal, but honestly they just fly by, and once you get into the exams it's absolutely fine. If you prepare well, as I said, if you stay organised and productive and you start revising early, then you've literally got nothing to worry about. Also, this isn't really like revision wise, but a quick bit of advice. Also, do not leave your prom shopping till the last minute. I worked in a prom dress boutique this year over prom season, and the amount of people that leave getting their prom dress till the last minute is like astounding, and I really don't recommend it, especially if you're getting it from a boutique or anywhere, because they often need to order your size in a different colour, and it can take kind of like 1 to 6 weeks to come in, and then if you need alterations, then that can take another few weeks. So when I say last minute, kind of if your prom is in June, then May is last minute, and then even April was sort of pushing it. So I got mine in March, and that was like alright. So I know that I haven't covered kind of everything that there is to say. So if there are any other fellow people my age that are watching, then also comment your advice down below, and we can start like a little forum thing in the comments with all people's advice, not just mine, because I know lots and lots of people have advice based on their personal experiences. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and remember to check out my social media, which will be linked down below in the description. Bye guys!